We'll go to our next speaker.
Audrey Reynolds, Department of Animal Services. Vaughn Maurice and his department are perpetuating animal cruelty instead of ending it. This man has to go. These suffering animals were all observed in the barn of an East County sanctuary by an equine expert. A little donkey down on the ground, unable to stand, emaciated, starving to death, writhing in pain, its teeth and gums protruding, gasping for air while it died. 8 starving horses, all emaciated, unable to move, trouble standing, in advanced stages of founder with massive amounts of painful sores all over their frail bodies, their ribs and hips protruding. They were a body score of 1 on death's door. 2 ponies, massively obese, approaching death by founder, their hooves very long, thick and curled, in jeopardy of the coffin bone breaking through the soles of the feet. It's excruciatingly painful. A large draft horse observed in an outside paddock, extremely thin with excessively long feet. Most of the horses in the pastures are obese and at risk of founder. Many will graduate into the death barn. It's just a matter of time. 265 cats were observed in November by another woman. She told me she witnessed cats with bloodied mouths eating out of cat food cans, emaciated cats and cats with mange. So who is going to save these animals? Vaughn Maurice was handed this case on a silver platter. He was warned he would get only one chance at this, and he blew it. What could potentially be the largest cruelty case ever seen in San Diego County? Hundreds of animals. He was told explicitly what would be found and where to find it. These animals were on death's door back in October, denied humane euthanasia by their owner to end their suffering. They're probably dead by now. These animals could not be removed or helped by DAS because Maurice botched the investigation. He failed to brief his officers on the information given to him, and the officers violated their own protocols of investigation. They left with no photos or videos. These suffering animals were all observed by an equine expert, someone that Maurice actually had available to him, but he failed to engage her. Sadly, her observations were just one day after DAS observed nothing. They were not given enough evidence for the DA to get a warrant.
Thank you. Your time is up. We'll go to our next speaker.
Thank you. I'll now hear from the next caller.
Hey, Truth, remember when Jim lied and said the first Netwig Barkley horse that died of natural causes? Here's more email proof that the county knew that wasn't true. Quote, sent March 30th, 2023 from Joy V. Ollinger to DAS's Kelly Campbell and Carl Smith and Officer Celia Padilla. Subject, horses rescued. Hi, Kelly, there were no horses rescued by DAS from the property. Officer Galvin notes, arrived at 7612 Artesian Road. Horse Chiati was recumbent in thick mud and very lethargic and weak. Animal appeared thin with withered spine, ribs, and hips visibly protruding, as well as potentially overgrown teeth. Dr. Robin Perry said that he did not notice anything concerning with any of the animals. Officer Viasuso notes, reporter states that there are 40 to 50 horses on property and believes this has turned into a hoarding situation. There is no shelter from the elements for the 30 horses that are out in pasture. Dr. Perry said 2 euthanasia planned, and there are other horses she will euthanize. They will remove the horse that died yesterday, but cannot haul out the remains of more than 3 horses. Humane Dispatch Manager said they had been getting calls and emails all day on these horses needing rescue. Thanks, Joy. Then April 7th, 2023, from Carl Smith to Jeff Collins, Kathleen Flannery, Chuck Westerhide, Kelly Campbell, Officer Talia Padilla, Officer Lavelle Jackson, and veterinarian Kathy Hamilton. Team, I received the following information from Lieutenant Padilla. Hundreds of tags were left behind so Dr. Terry and Deborah can tag the thoroughbreds. This will help easily identify those that Deborah should be willing to get rid of. Horses that are urgent have been moved to the barn to ensure treatment. Nothing that Lieutenant Padilla observed would support seizing. Thanks, Assistant Director Carl Smith, and quote, DAS needs to be dismantled and restructured with actual animal professionals, not these know-nothing county craft dummies who take animals down with them. Quit making excuses and rescue the horses. Enough of the childish behavior from some of the people that call in, like we just heard, and some of you on this board. You guys need to grow up. Quit. We don't have time or money to waste on this.
Thank you. And Vice Chair Lawson-Remer, that concludes the request for non-agenda public communication this afternoon.
We'll go to our next speaker.
Hello. My name is Rusty Shack-Helford, D3 resident. Supervisor Tara Lawson-Remer, I have witnessed few attempts to counter the Los Angeles Alliance for the Defense of Animals President Zora Fahim's video evidence of the abuse of horses. She has shown that there are horses in inexcusable conditions. Supervisor Tara Lawson-Remmer has stated that the district attorney, Summer Steffen, is investigating the condition or situation of Deborah Barkley and Craig Netwig's dogs. And also that the Department of Animal Services have finally removed one dog out of maybe 12 dogs. But how is that relevant to the conditions or situation of the Artesian Road horses? From what I understand, they are currently still suffering on a ranch with broken fences, with unhygienic food sanitary conditions, and unmonitored drinking water levels for the horses. Why has there been a denial of the evidence? Why has District Attorney Summer Steffen taken no action? Why do supervisors like Tara say they're only monitoring the neglect and abuse? Why do the supervisors allow animal cruelty cases to happen under their watch? This is unacceptable and must promptly end. Thank you for listening to my comments.
Thank you. We'll go to our next speaker. TV or live video stream, and we'll go ahead and begin with our first caller.
Oh, thank you. Good morning. This is Michael Fujimori. I'm calling to talk about the horses at the Artesian Road Ranch. I'm very concerned about the conditions that these horses are being forced to endure. They have been neglected and are not being cared for in a humane manner. And I'm asking that these horses and dogs be removed from the property for their protection. There have been numerous documented incidences of animal cruelty and neglect, including being fed moldy hay and currently having no protection from the rain. So please take action before it's too late and take these poor suffering animals away so they can be cared for in a humane manner. Animals deserve to be protected and cared for. And also, Board of Supervisors, please remember, on Election Day, voters care about animals and are going to remember who protected them. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll go to our next speaker. Thank you. We'll go to our next speaker.
Annie Abram, non-agenda item. Good morning, Board of Supervisors and Supervisor Desmond. And my name is Annie Abram, and I am so alarmed and overwhelmed that we have to keep coming back for the same issue, despite the fact that we keep pleading that there should be, a true welfare check. No matter how many check reports are coming back, it seems that we only keep getting a facade, a fake news that, yes, everything is all right. In the meantime, horses and dogs in the Artesian Road are suffering. They're literally suffering and living in hell. They're trapped. In nature, these animals have ways to find themselves a shelter from all elements, and they will find healthy vegetation to eat, not moldy hay that is on their feces. These animals are trapped. Imagine being locked up and having no choice. In the meantime, these animals, the reports that are coming back saying that, everything is perfectly fine. Please do a real welfare check. Remove these animals right away. At this point, I do not think after all these reports, fake reports back and forth, need to be continued. The animals need to be removed. Imagine a child eating moldy place. Imagine being in a moldy house. They would be reported. Remember where welfare check from the roads similar to this by Director Vaughn Maurice has been done. The report came back, everything is fine.
Thank you. Your time is up. We'll go to our next speaker. Thank you. Your time is up. We'll go to our next speaker.
Lori Palladino, non-agenda public comment. Good morning. We are calling in today once again, as we have several times in the past, to request help for the horses on Artesian Road. These horses are out in the rain. In accordance with the law, animals must have protection against the elements. That is considered to be humane treatment. The elderly horses languishing outside do not have adequate and necessary protection against the rain or windbreak. We have all experienced high winds and rain, and we know how much we would suffer if left outside with no shelter to experience this unrelenting weather with no protection. Horses in the wild seek shelter against the elements, instinctually. The same is true for horses residing here in the county. There have been reports these horses have been eating moldy hay. That is disastrous for their health. I request a welfare check from a board-certified third-party equine veterinary expert on this search to ensure the horses are eating fresh and not moldy hay. We ask all the horses and dogs be removed immediately to safety. Real welfare checks are needed to assess the conditions in which these animals live. That includes checking the quality of the food and hay they are given. Welfare checks on the road are unacceptable. Animal protection laws must be properly enforced to keep all animals safe. They deserve nothing less. Don't leave them out there to suffer until they finally pass away, which is the only relief they get. We will continue to call in until there is resolution in favor of these suffering animals. Remove the horses and dogs from Artesian Road now, while there is still a chance for them to thrive elsewhere. We will continue to call in until we hear that something has been done to help these animals, and we will not give up. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We'll go to our next speaker. Thank you. We'll go to our next speaker.
Hi, my name is Amit Daleja, and I'm a local resident here in San Diego County. Like the other callers that have called before, I'm calling about the horses on Artesia Road. I think it's been over a year since Los Angeles Alliance for Animals has been coming here to the San Diego County Board and trying to urge the county board and the county animal services to do something about these horses. Unfortunately, the welfare checks that the county is currently doing from the road appear not to be enough. And as the other people have said, that the horses are not protected from shelter, they're eating moldy hay, and something has to be done about this. So we're requesting, please, to have somebody go into the property and do a thorough check to make sure the horses are okay and check for their well-being. And with the ultimate goal, obviously, of trying to get these horses off property and into a sanctuary. So thank you so much, and please work with Los Angeles Alliance for Animals to try to get this done. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to our next speaker. Thank you. We'll go to our next speaker.
Michelle, Deborah Barkley, Kathleen Flannery, Steve Lujan, Eric Bodner, Tara Lawson-Remer, and I know she's looking down, and the Department of Animal Services. These are the above people that have blood on their hands. I have spoken to the County Board of Supervisors for over a year. We have not seen any documentation that shows they have gone out to investigate these horses in Rancho Santa Fe, especially on their property, instead of looking at the horses from the other side of the fence. Welfare checks from the road are not acceptable and are not deemed adequate proof. I call upon the FBI County General to enter the property and examine these horses for full and complete inspection. We need an equine third-party veterinarian too. Horses are dying eating moldy hay with no protection against the scorching heat or the cold winter rain. while Deborah Barkley is sitting in her $6 million other house in Rancho Santa Fe. I have heard that the people are taking care of the horses have been found on Craigslist, and that's not a good source of expertise for employees. I believe Jeff's network, with a $1 billion contract for Pure Waters holding the strings to adequate investigation due to conflict of interest or just corruption. I want everything I said on record to be reported, and if nothing happens, I will, and I promise you, go to the FBI and get this reported, because nobody's doing anything. Nobody's opened a case on this. There's no proof. Nobody has entered the property. Nobody has knocked on the doors to find out who's taking care of these horses, let alone the dogs running around Rancho Santa Fe biting kids.
Thank you. Your time is up. We'll go to our next speaker.
Hi, my name is Zora Fahim, president and founder of Los Angeles Alliance for Animals. I'd like to read into the county record that Vaughn Maurice, director of Animal Services, is doing welfare checks on Artesian Road from the road, which are reports that you're receiving that everything is satisfactory on this ranch when it is not. If the county of San Diego is going to do welfare checks from the road on Artesian roads, then why are you not implementing CPS workers to conduct welfare checks from the road? This behavior, County Board of Supervisors, is not only unacceptable, but it's intolerable. Why are the horses on Artesian Road potentially eating moldy hay, which can be detrimental to their health and well-being? This behavior, County Board of Supervisors, is not only unacceptable, but it is intolerable. Why is the horses on Artesian Road in their stalls 24 hours a day? This behavior, County Board of Supervisors, is not only unacceptable, but it is intolerable. Why is Vaughn Maurice downplaying cruelty cases such as the one in District 5, where DAS allowed birds to die due to starvation? This behavior, County Board of Supervisors, is not only unacceptable, but is intolerable. Why has Deputy District Attorney Eric Bodner still not prosecuted the Artesian Road horse abuse case? This behavior, County Board of Supervisors, is not only unacceptable, it is intolerable. We need the county to ensure that the corruption of San Diego County of Animal Services is addressed with aggressive action, and I have confidence that Andrew Strong will do so, and that the horses will be removed from Artesian Road immediately, and that all the animal cruelty cases are revisited and addressed in accordance with state law, which DAS has failed in doing so. Thank you for all that you do for our county and for allowing all the public comment speakers to speak at the beginning of the meeting.
Thank you. We'll go to our next speaker. Thank you. We'll go to our next speaker.
Hi, this is Susan Cohn. I'm calling also about the horses and dogs on Artesian Road. And with all that I have learned, I don't understand why, after all this time, the proper examination of these animals has not taken place. I don't know, what these people are taught when they're told to go out and check on the animals. If they're told it's okay to, be outside the fence, but it's not. You need a proper board-certified veterinarian and an equine veterinarian to go in there and take care of these animals and make sure make sure that they're okay and get them off that property. This is horrifying. I mean, and unacceptable. I advocate for animals, all the time, and I cannot understand why, after all this time, these animals have not been taken care of. And it's got to stop, and it's got to happen. And whoever, this is illegal. Basically, it's called abuse, animal abuse, and animal abuse is illegal. And these people that are supposedly own these animals need to be prosecuted for what they're doing. So I really hope that at some point in the very near future, say this week, this is resolved. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We'll go to our next speaker. Thank you. And we will go to our final non-agenda public comment.
Good morning. My name is Kate Ione. I've called many times. It's been over a year since I've called and sat in the room there to discuss the horses on Artesian Road, just like many of the other people there that have called and have shown up. And nothing has been done. A year ago, we were crying about the rain and the fact that they have no shelter. In the summer, we were crying about the fact that it was so scalding hot and they had no shelter. You've watched the videos. Zora has told you details. She's on top of all of this and what's going on, and nothing has happened. We need a real welfare check by a real equine vet that needs to go in the property.
Kate, it sounds like we might have lost you. You might have muted your phone. We can't hear you. Kate? Seeing no response from that constituent. Vice Chair, that concludes non-agenda public communication for this morning.